Hello, my name is John Kirsch, and I'm one of the librarians here at the Burgess Library at SMC. I'm here to show you how to search using our main database search option on our website. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a brief overview going from the SMC main website. If you go under Academics, go to Library, and then under Library, if you look down further, go to the library website. And what I'd like to show you within just a few minutes here is how to go about searching. Many of you for your classes are going to need to find articles, sometimes scholarly journal articles. And so what I'd like to do is show you how to search some of our databases and what is the easiest way of doing that. So from our main library website here, you'll notice there's a tab for articles. You click on that. The first search box you see, this is our multiple EBSCO databases search box, and this is actually a collection of many different databases kind of all wrapped into one. So if you're not sure where to start, or especially if you are just needing to, if you have a general topic and you'd like to just do some initial research, maybe you've already looked at some encyclopedia articles or some other more general articles, but now you want to find something a little more specific, this is a great place to go. So let's just use an example. Let's say you were studying the Viking invasion of England. So you have, let's say you'll do a search, and I should, by the way, before I'm going to pause just for a second and highlight something. If you are off campus and you're trying to access our databases, there's a very handy reminder for how to gain off-campus access. And for example, basically the only thing you'll need to know is, unlike what you're going to see in this video, if you're off campus and trying to do this, you will be prompted for your SMC username and password. And that is very simple. It's the same username and password you use every time you log into your student email address. So whenever you're logging into your student email, it's going to be that same SMC username and password. If you have a question with that, if it's not working, you can either talk to IT or you can contact us, and we can get that worked out. Okay, so back to the databases. So again, let's say you were doing a topic. Let's say you had to do a paper on the Viking invasion of England. You would go ahead and search, and it's going to bring up a good number of results here. You can see we've got about close to 900 results. And take a look at just a couple of things to be aware of. Right away, one thing that you will encounter in a lot of your classes, your professor may, when they do any sort of assignment, they may have a requirement that your sources be within a certain amount of currency. In other words, they may not allow you to use older sources. So I want you to be aware here, many of our databases, including this one, allows you to set a date range for your results. So let's say you may have a professor in one of your classes that requires that, let's say, the publications be within the last 5 years. And so you may need to change that date range. As you can see, our current results are showing 1975 all the way to 2018. Something else to just highlight, be aware of, again, your professors may say you need a certain number of scholarly or peer-reviewed journal articles. So these are articles that have been vetted by other experts in the field, and that same field the author is writing in. So you may need to check this box depending on your assignment. And then before I dive into one of these articles, just to give you a more up-close personal view here, the third thing I just wanted to point out is you'll also notice that my search, one thing to always keep in mind is synonyms can be very important when you are searching. So for example, you'll notice, yes, I did a search for Vikings in England, but depending on what synonym I might use for the country of England, my search results will be wildly different. So for example, I could have searched Vikings and Great Britain. I could have searched Vikings and United Kingdom. I could have even searched Vikings, British Isles. So keep in mind synonyms when if you're not finding what you want, you may need to try some different synonyms until you find that right term. So in this case, England is actually a very good term to use. If I had done a search for Vikings and say Britain, my results would have gone from, you'll notice my results go from about 900 to less than half of that. So just kind of be aware. It really depends on the topic, but be aware that the synonym you use may just drastically change what the database comes up with. So let's go back to my initial search with Vikings in England, and I'm going to click on this first article, which is Landscape and Warfare in Anglo-Saxon England. Now, one thing you'll notice is you can bring up a PDF of this article in full text, so that's very helpful. There's a nice overview and abstract. Two of the key things I always point out to students is you can always get a sample and overall view of how to cite your source, which is always important. Your professor will always want to have a citation generally. So look at, for example, this shows you how to cite it with APA style, or you can scroll it down further alphabetically by citation style and see how you would cite it in MLA style. So that's good to know. Another thing to know is you can easily email this to yourself. So I can't tell you how many times I'll have a student that maybe found a great article, but they maybe didn't save it, or they got kind of distracted by something else, and then they can't go back and actually find the article again. So this helps you prevent that problem. You can just type in your email address and make sure that you have a copy of that article sent to you. So this is also a nice feature. The last thing I just wanted to point out, of course, is also you can print the article. All of our students have every semester a certain block of free printing at the beginning of the semester, or just built-in printing. So I believe it's the first 200 pages. So if you'd like to print out, go ahead and print out the article that you find. That's good too. And throughout the library, we have wireless printing. So again, you can take advantage of this from your laptop or from your computer, anywhere in the library. All right. Now that we've done that, I just have one last thing I want to kind of pull back and show you just as we wrap up. So I've kind of showed you, again, this is the overall EBSCOhost or EBSCOhost search, also known as Academic Search Complete, and you're basically searching dozens of databases at once by using this feature. So let's go back. Let me go back to this was our website. From our main website, all I did to get here was I clicked on the Articles tab, and I just typed in my search and went right ahead. Now, there may be classes where you need a specialized search engine, a specialized database, excuse me. And so, for example, if you are taking, if you have to do an assignment, say a literary criticism analysis, you may not want to do a general database such as the one I just showed you. And for that, what can be helpful is to look at our databases A to Z guide. You can click on that. So that can be helpful. And you can view all of our databases from A to Z. And then including descriptions. So if, for example, if you're doing literary criticism, first of all, you might want to check under L for literary. And you might notice we have two databases right here called Literary Reference Center and Literature Resource Center. So you know both of these, based on the descriptions, will touch quite a bit on literary resources. Now this may not be everything. We may have other databases, and so that's why it's good to, if you're struggling, talk to a librarian, because it may not always be alphabetically obvious which specialized databases will touch on your topic for your class. But that's just kind of a nice overview. So this is a backup. If you need a specialized database, you can look at our all databases link. Otherwise, again, as I showed you before, going back to our main website, going under articles, and then searching from our multiple EBSCO databases is a great way to start. Thanks for taking a few minutes to take a look at our website, and I hope this was helpful for you.